Hello, my loves. It's me, Tabitha, your love and sexuality coach, and today we're talking about asking. Asking for what you want in your relationships and actually getting it. And today I'm going to share a few facts about why we don't ask that you may not have considered and can be really powerful for helping you shift this, but also 3 steps to helping you identify what you want and ask for it powerfully so that you do get what you want in your relationships. So in my personal experiences and in my client coaching, there are numerous, infinite, crazy, creative reasons why we don't ask for what we want. These range from fear of rejection, to fear of judgment, to fear of actually getting what we want. Like, this one is mind-blowing, but there are so many people who tell me they're scared of actually getting everything that they desire. They're scared of having the relationship they want, having the success they want, having the abundance they want, because they're scared of who they might be if they had what they wanted, if they didn't have to struggle anymore. So as you can see, and probably as you can identify, we have got so many inner game problems, mindset things, beliefs, and even experiences that are feeding our fears of asking for what we want. We're going to talk a little bit more about how we can move through that later. So, what does it mean to not ask for what you want? What are the repercussions of this in your relationship? Well, obviously, if you don't ask for what you want, you don't get what you want. So, you're going to be unsatisfied with your relationship. And even on a very small level, this makes a huge difference. So you may be telling yourself, oh, well, I have all the big things taken care of, so I can just not worry about a couple of these little things, like helping out with the chores a little bit, or spending a little bit of extra time just talking with me, or those little things that we think don't matter, but my loves, they matter, or you wouldn't be thinking about them. So we don't get what we want when we don't ask for what we want. We lose and our partners lose, because if we are not asking for them to help us meet a need or a desire, they're not getting the opportunity to be that god or that goddess for us, to be that hero or that heroine. They're not able to be powerful. They're not able to bring us pleasure because we're not even giving them the opportunity to do so. So this can be really damaging for your ability to build trust with your partner, for your ability to create a deeper connection with your partner, to experience more intimacy with your partner, and also to really let yourself be deeply vulnerable. And whether we know it or not, we're setting the example for how we want to be treated and how we're going to treat our partners with everything that we do. So if we never tell our partners what we want, chances are, unless you're just with a really oblivious person or someone who has no problems asking for what they want, chances are they're not going to be asking for what they want either, because they feel like if you don't ask, well, then they shouldn't be asking. So you both lose out in this. You both lose the opportunity to be deeply blissful, pleasure-filled, powerful people for each other. So you should really stop that. So getting to how we're going to shift that, I'm going to give you 3 steps on how you can start. My paper's blowing around, but I have to have notes or I'll go down all these crazy rabbit trails. So we've got three pieces that we're going to cover today about how you can begin to shift this. Notice that I said shift, because there is no instant resolution when it comes to this. This takes the willingness to look within yourself, the willingness to be considerate of your partner, and this also takes the willingness to jump into your shit. To be willing to say, I've been fucking this up and I've been blaming my partner. Or, I didn't realize how much I've been keeping my partner from giving me joy and pleasure. So you've got to be willing to get in your shit, but not to beat yourself up with your shit. So be really loving and curious and gentle about your shit. If you need some help with that, I'm here for you. So the first step of asking for what you want is knowing what you want. You have got to make this very clear and very specific before you bring it to your partner. And you have to make sure that it's actually what you want and not just something floating on the surface. So if you take a really surface example to your partner, for example, okay, say you want them to take out the trash, and this is what you're getting ready to talk to your partner about is, hey, can you please take out the trash? That would mean so much to me if you would take out the trash. It would really be helpful. And they do it, and you don't get the satisfaction that you were looking for. Maybe it's because you really had a deeper issue where you've got too much on your plate, or you feel like you need some help with some things and just taking out the trash isn't quite getting it. When if you'd really sifted through and thought, what do I really want? What do I need? Well, I want more time for myself in the evenings. You know, I bust my ass when I go to work, come home and deal with the family. And then I also want to create time for my partner so we can have an amazing, mind-blowing relationship. And I realize I don't have any time for myself. Well, that's actually what you need to be asking for, is how can you get that time for yourself, and how can your partner help support you in that? So that surface question isn't always going to get you what you want, because there's that really deep burning desire underneath all of that. That's where the power really is. And that's where you're really going to get the crazy, amazing shifts with not only your desire, but with your relationship and your life as a whole. So when you think of something you want, dig. Get that curiosity out of your back pocket and ask yourself, why? Why do I want this? What will this do for me? What will this allow me to do? What will this allow me to be? So play with those whys. And if you need to do this with a friend, do it with a friend. If you need to do this in a journal, do it in a journal. But go through your whys to find out what you really want. Perfect. Step number 2. What's going to help you set the mood for talking to your partner about this? So if you are really stressed out, or your partner has just walked in from work and they've had a really shitty day, or they've gotten some really upsetting news, or they're really excited about going to do something and they're just not gonna focus on you, don't even try to have that conversation, because you're setting both of you up for failure. And this is a really subtle way that we often find ourselves self-sabotaging, because you know on a level that your partner is not going to have the time to sit and think about that. You know it's probably not the best time to do it. And sometimes we just can't help ourselves anyway. Good intention or bad intention. So I really want to have you be mindful about not only what you want, but what's going to keep you from getting what you want. So when you're setting the mood, what is going to probably sabotage your ability to connect and communicate with your partner, and what is going to enhance your ability to connect and communicate with your partner. So if you've got kids, you might need to wait until the kids are settled in bed or occupied with other things, so that you and your partner can really just talk with each other. If you're really stressed out and anxious, you're probably going to need to do some self-care, and maybe my cat's joining us for another training. Maybe take a bubble bath. Maybe have a glass of wine. What can you do to make sure that you are steeped in your authenticity and in your sense of desire and empowerment, so that you're not feeling really scattered and really gross and not able to communicate what you want? So definitely do what you need to do to get yourself in that place of openness, vulnerability, and receptivity, so that you can deeply connect with your partner. And if there's something you know that you can do to help them with that, then absolutely do that too. For example, in my world, my lover and I have this amazing ritual on the weekends where we have dinner, we have the music up, and we trade foot massage, back massage, something, and we just talk. And because we're already starting to connect on a physical level through touch, this really makes it a lot easier to connect on an emotional level. So conversation is just natural, and we've both relaxed. We have our guards down. We're not thinking about work. So it's really, really easy to have those vulnerable conversations, because sometimes asking for what you want is so freaking uncomfortable. And I can't tell you how many times I personally, even still, will start my request by saying, I would really love to talk to you about something. I want to throw up. And bleh. and say what I want to say. Even if it's something so freaking simple as, my neck hurts, will you rub my shoulders for me? Ah, I'm so scared to ask. I'm scared you're going to say no. Like, that stuff happens. Even for me, who has done this kind of work for over 10 years, it still gets me. Because guess what? We're all fucking humans. So what can you do to create that space for yourself? And what can you do to create that space for your partner so you're both ready? So maybe make some notes about this, and maybe even bring your partner into this conversation and ask them, hey babe, what is something we can do to help each other relax, shut out the world, and really connect with each other? And maybe create a couples connection ritual. These are so fun. If you need some ideas, hit me up and I would love to help you with that. So then there is the actual communication piece, where you're going to actually say what you want to say. So you've figured out what you want. You've dug through it. You've figured out your whys. What will this give you? What will this help you be? And you've also figured out how you're going to set the mood, how you're going to make sure that you don't sabotage this communication and this connection. So you got all this settled. Now you're actually going to speak it. And there is a lot that can go into this, but I want to keep it really simple. So I'm going to give you a quick little template. I want, or I desire, and what will this give you? So the whole stuff that you went through with writing earlier is figure out how you can turn that into a little bit of a script. So for example, going back to the earlier reference of not having enough time for yourself and wanting help around the house or stuff. So it could start with, I really want some time to myself. Why? Because I'm feeling stressed. I'm having things fall through the cracks that are really important to me. One of those might be your relationship. Hopefully that is important to you and is not falling through the cracks. But you could actually start to notice that happening. You know, maybe you want more connection time. Maybe you want more time for yourself so that you can even get in the frame of mind for connecting with your partner. So what is that? What do you want? I want more time for myself. What do you need? I need help. I need time. I need support. I need accountability. Woo, that's a big one. Having your partner hold you accountable for doing things that you say you want to do. That's great. That's powerful. It's really beautiful when it's done right. So, and then asking, how can they do that? So for example, it could be, I need this time for myself. I need this because I'm noticing its effects in our relationship and everything else. And here's what I need to help me with that. I need you to help me with the chores some. I need you to remind me to do X, Y, Z. I need you to hold me accountable to doing yoga 20 minutes a day by myself. What is that? And then invite the conversation, invite the reflection and the dialogue, and say, what do you think? How you feel about this? What can you do to invite them to then communicate? And you guys can have a really great conversation about this where they can say, oh, well, you know what? Actually, how about I do this? And they blow your mind by offering something even more amazing. Like, how about they take half the chores? Or how about you hire a maid? Woohoo, that would be great, right? So definitely invite dialogue with your partner. This isn't a dictatorship where you're just going to say, I want X, Y, Z. Here's how I want you to do it. Bam. You really want to make sure that you're creating equal partnership with everything that you do in your relationship, and that you make sure that your partner feels as empowered as you hopefully will be. So these are the 3 steps to asking for what you want and getting it. Making sure that you know what you want, making sure you know what you're going to possibly sabotage her with, making sure you know how to create the mood, making sure that you communicate this powerfully and beautifully for you and your partner. And then freaking celebrate that. Like, go out and eat some ice cream or something. Because this is amazing work. This is powerful work. And I have no doubt in my mind that you can do this. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of support, a little bit of accountability, and a little bit of instruction. Because if you haven't ever had these really healthy experiences, you don't have a point of reference for them. So if you're in a new relationship and you've never experienced this with your previous ones, or if you're in a more long-term relationship, but you and your partner just haven't had very good communication habits, I don't want you to think that this is impossible for you. This is absolutely possible. I've done this over and over again in my life and in the lives of my clients. So if you feel like, I don't know that this is going to work for me, shoot me a message. My contact info is on this page, so you can email me, you can find me on Facebook, or you can hit me up on Facebook. So find me, let's talk, let's chat, let's see how I can support you through this and help you have that amazing, powerful relationship that makes you feel like you finally found that legendary love you've been looking for. I adore you, I believe in you, and I'm here to help you if you need it. And I cannot wait to see you next month, where we will be talking about the laws of attraction, the laws of every other universal, fun, funky stuff that is going to help you learn how to magnetize everything that you want. And of course, we'll be talking about relationships again. So I will see you then, my loves. Mwah! Have an amazing month.